Hello everybody, Disno here. Welcome back to another video. Now today I'm looking at what I consider to be my favorite game of all time. This is my favorite advanced OU game of all time. This is between Linear Curve and M-Dragon, as you can see. It's for Callous Invitational 1, I think. They played two best of fives because Linear needed to win two best of fives and M-Dragon still had two lives. It was like a double elim type thing. And this was the first game of the second set. I think it was in around July 2017, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's I would consider it to be my favorite game ever. It was just the level of play was so high from start to finish, and every time I watch it back, I'm just admiring how good each player is. So let's just get right into it. Without further ado, I'd rather not dilly-dally too much. So lead Scarm for Lanier, lead T-Tar for M-Dragon. When you see lead Scarm, it's not, you wouldn't always assume that they have Gengar, but it's generally indicative that they have Gengar. So we're going to see a special Tar here from M-Dragon. Special Tar, it's a dangerous thing for Scarm to do, to stay in to eat one Fire Blast, even for the sake of a Spike. It's usually not worth it to stay in to eat a Fire Blast. So he goes to Blissey now on an expected Fire Blast, and M-Dragon makes a really nice double here. Doubles at the Fari. Now I can't actually see the spikes on his side for some reason, but there is one spike up on M-Dragon's side here. Blissey can S-Toss here for the 28.3% chip. And we're going to see another spike. This was a spike coming back now from M-Dragon's side. I don't know why we're not seeing the spikes. It's a bit irritating, but anyway. So Blissey comes in on a spike here, and he's going to eat an S-Toss. So this was back in 2017. At this time, your standard Ice Beam, S-Toss, Toxic, Soft Boil Blissey was your most common Blissey. So I wonder if that's what we're going to see here. So M-Dragon does fire off a Toxic, lands on the Blissey. We can presume he's going to recover off that damage. Keeping your Blissey at high health is always so important. It's kind of it's why Blissey's so good. The fact that it's just so hard to kill for so many things, so keeping it in high health is really the optimal way to play it. Skarmory now comes out, and he is going to fire off that second layer of spikes. So we'll see, does M-Dragon go for the spin, or does he go for his own second layer of spikes? He probably should scout for the Gengar and just go for a spike, yeah. So it's now going to be two spikes, one for each side. Big question here is, does M-Dragon go T-Tar on the Gengar? Now he goes to Blissey first. That's what a lot of good players do, make that play first. They're not going to go straight out to T-Tar because it's so obvious, and well, it is kind of a 50-50 game, or definitely a game that it kind of, it is a prediction game there. That's why Fari's not actually a reliable spinner to Scarm and whatever, but Lanier didn't mind Wisping Tar there, so yeah. So we're going to see some S-Toss warfare here. Lanier hasn't revealed Toxic on his Blissey yet, and he is getting Toxic by opposing Blissey, so that is worth noting. He could have Wish, he could have, well, I doubt he has Wish, he would have used it by now. Maybe he has T-Wave or something, I don't know. Not quite sure what Lanier's set is at this time, but I think more will be revealed when we see more of the team. So Lanier goes back out to Scarm here on an Ice Beam. So now the full set here has been revealed for M-Dragon. It's Toxic, Soft Boiled, Ice Beam. Let me see if I can drag it up. No, I can't. But yeah, so Toxic, Soft Boiled, Ice Beam, and S-Toss. So now we see two layers. Is it two layers of spikes? I don't even keep track. Might have got the third layer up. I don't even know. But either way, so that's two layers, 16%. It's interesting in ADV that there's a third layer going up now. It's interesting in ADV. I'm not sure if this is exclusive to ADV, but I know that the first spike is about 12%. The second spike is about 4 to 5%, and then the third spike is about 8%, if kind of give or take, with all of those. So it comes to about 25-ish. So Tar does finally come out here on Gengar, and the Wisp does land this time. I'm not sure how relevant it missing was the last time, considering Blissey came in. Like, was it Willow Taunt Gar? But anyway, Tar is going to get the pursuit off here, and we're going to see what kind of set Lanier's running. So yeah, he's running bulky Gengar. That was kind of the standard this time. It's probably 1-1-2 248 HP, whatever, the one that lives always in sand. Either way, we can kind of see why Lanier was comfortable doing that earlier. He's got a Dugtrio here in the back. And that's really good for him because he just gets rid of the pursuit threat there and he keeps his Gengar alive. So he's assured his 3 layers of spikes now, and that's far he has some sort of hidden power. Flygon does come out here, so we've got that Flygon team that M-Dragon is using right now. This was really popular at the time. Yeah, I think it had Kuhn, yeah. So it has Kuhn, H2 owned, the standard M-Dragon name. So Lanier fires off a Surf. That tells you a decent amount about the set. When you see Surf these days, it often means Surf, Tect, Toxic, Refresh, or Roar, or whatever. But back this time, Surf could be paired with Earthquake, Ice Beam, whatever. Still can, but it just isn't as much. And we do see that Earthquake from Pert. Kuhn gonna fire off a Surf here. Blissey's just out of range of getting 2 KO'd. Kuhn probably is free to just keep CMing if he wants. Looks like it's gonna be a tough mon for Lanier to deal with. He can keep whirlwinding it because Fari can never get off the rapid spin, seemingly, unless he has a hidden power of some sort. But Lanier is probably going to have to wind this. He's going to have to chip this Kuhn down, scout for rest talk or whatever. Not that scouting for rest talk is really going to help, but yeah, so it seems as though it's just a standard CM rest Kuhn. So Lanier probably going to bring it down to the point where it's forced to rest, and then switch out to maybe Scarm or Purd or something to roar it out. Probably Scarm to Whirlwind. So we're gonna see does M-Dragon just go straight to sleep? He does, yeah, just to maximize sleep turns here. Kind of break Blissey, like, I don't know, just PP stall as much as possible. So that's what that is. So yeah, so Scarm comes out here now on the Kuhn, and it's now broken. It's broken 1 sleep turn. It's going to break 2, so it's going to come back in at around 50. Scarm reveals that it has Roar as opposed to Whirlwind. Drill Peck wasn't that common at this time. No, it just has Roar. I suppose if you don't have Drill Peck, it generally makes more sense to have Whirlwind, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. So Akorazado is the Fortress does come out now, so he's going to try and bluff the spin maybe, and yeah, he has hidden power. Okay, so he does take out the Gengar. That's pretty big. That's hidden power. Someone's saying in the chat it's hidden power Steel. It was neutral, so it could be HP Flying, HP Steel, something like that. Either way. So we're going to see a Flamethrower come out here from Moltres. That's almost definitely modest based on the damage. That did a lot. Well, I don't know. It seems though it is modest. So Lanier not going to go to Scarm here. He's going to go to Pert, which is interesting. Maybe he was fearing the Fire Blast, but I don't know. Goes straight into Pert anyway. Eats a Toxic. That Pert is now on a timer. He fires off a Surf here, as opposed to his own Toxic or anything like that. We don't know what his set is, do we? Surf, Earthquake. Maybe he has Toxic. I'm not sure. But either way, he gets a Surf off on Gar. And now, yeah, so now Gar reveals it has Wisp, and Bliss comes in. So Lanier probably has to scout for Taunt here. Probably has to fire off an Ice Beam. That's what I think the safe play is here. Fires off the Ice Beam indeed. And is Fari now in range? It was doing 28 with S-Toss earlier, so Fari's probably in range of S-Toss right now. Yeah, he just goes down to the S-Toss. And now it looks as though this Blissey is out of the game. It's at 29%. It's not living EQ here. But Lanier is going to choose to save it here, and I think this is take it from me, I've watched this game before. That's one of the most important plays in this game. It basically is the reason why the game goes the way it goes. Lanier's going to make the double back into Moltres here. Fantastic double on the Toxic. Whirlwind was also safe there, so yeah. But Moltres is now going to come out and throw off a Flamethrower, which would have taken out Gar. Gar can't take out Moltres from 100 with T-Bolt. I don't even think Max Timid Gar can do that. So Kuhn does get crit by the Flamethrower, but it doesn't matter because he can't lift the following HP Grass anyway. So that's the Kuhn threat dealt with, and Based on linear 6, Kuhn is a huge problem, but as long as you can kind of secure the 3 layers and kind of make sure that spikes aren't a big problem, Kuhn is, he's manageable. But here's why the Blissey play was so kind of important. Now Lanier gets a free dug on the opposing Bliss, taking it out of the game, meaning that Moltres has open season versus M-Dragon's team. Obviously Flygon's still a hard counter, but it's only kind of half a hard counter because if it gets wisped, it's on a big timer and it can't start protect stalling again. So we're going to see a rock slide coming out from Flygon here. Does 14. Lanier going to Toxic into the Gengar. That's an interesting play. Doesn't really matter. He's probably going to have to end up sacking Purd or something at this stage. Ice Punch comes out. Be interesting to note what. So he's got Willow, Ice Punch. He could easily have T-Bolt Taunt on that set. So Lanier's going to sack Doggy here. It has absolutely no use in this game because Flygon hard walls it, and yeah, it's just a sack at this point. So Moltres is going to come out. So this is why. This is a big turn, I suppose. If Lanier chose to Flamethrower there, he would be Flamethrowing hard into a Flygon, which is it's actually slower than Moltres. The Flygon's slower than Moltres, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But now he's going to have to start winning the doubles, so it becomes a mental warfare game here. Basically, every time, Flamethrower takes out Gengar, but it does not take out Flygon. So if that Gengar can keep getting in on the Skarm, he can take out Skarm. And if he gets in on, if he doesn't get in on Skarm, if he's in on Moltres, he has to switch. And eating a Flamethrower plus the burn, so Flygon's on a timer. So M-Dragon is only in this game for as long as Flygon is alive. So we actually see a hidden part of grass here, so this could be indicative of Gengar not having an attack for Moltres. And this Flygon again is on a timer. It's taking a lot from Flamethrower here. It's taking 27.8 plus the 6% each turn. 6% being 12 for the burn and then 6 back for the lefties. So we're going to see the Skarm double. Leader kind of has to double the Skarm here, so you could have actually, if you're M-Dragon, you could have actually switched there, but either way, he is just going to go straight into, well, I suppose he didn't have to, but yeah, I don't know. Lanier goes for the double protect here, so he gets that prediction right. This becomes a whirlwind protect game, and Lanier actually gets the prediction right there. Going to protect again, and M-Dragon's going to stay in expecting a whirlwind. So this is Lanier he's getting every prediction right here. He's going to protect again for the 4th time in a row. M-Dragon really expecting a whirlwind. He's expecting a whirlwind because it's so free. But what's quite problematic about this now is that if M-Dragon takes one more turn of burn with his Moltres, he cannot beat Gengar. Or he cannot beat... if M-Dragon takes one more turn of burn with his Flygon, he cannot beat Moltres. So this is it's a pretty important turn. Basically, I think without T-Bolt, Gengar can't win anymore, and M-Dragon is in trouble here. So yeah, Ice Punch seems to be his primary stab here, and this might just secure the game right here, because we've seen already that Flygon is slower than Moltres. And with Flygon being slower, it means that he can't really, he doesn't need a Flamethrower from there, so he's in trouble now. Basically M-Dragon's going to need a freeze on Moltres. It really makes you look back on how important the double was. When Lanier sacked Dugtrio, or when he refused to sack Blissey, it means that he always had that Blissey sack for when he wants to get Dugtrio in. And he got Dugtrio in on Blissey, on M-Dragon's side, which basically allowed him to take out the Blissey, meaning that Moltres didn't have any more counters. That meant that Moltres was able to secure this endgame for Lanier, and it just shows you how important kind of keeping your sacks are, especially if you've got Dugtrio. So the game does just get slowly played out here. M-Dragon going to double back into Gengar, Lanier roars it out. Out comes the Dragonfly, which is Flygon, and Lanier doesn't really matter what he does anymore. He just needs to avoid getting frozen. So he's just going to throw off a spike here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you do on that turn. So presumably just going to go ahead and let this Skarm go down here. It shouldn't really matter. So Fire Punch was the last move. Ice Punch, Hidden Power Grass, Fire Punch, Will-O-Wisp. So it didn't have Boom, didn't have anything to pressure Blissey too intensely. But basically we're gonna need a freeze now for MJag, and he's gonna need to freeze if he wants to win this game. Flamethrower should definitely take out Gengar from here. These Gengars are kind of the slower, bulky ones that used to be really popular a couple of years back, so they probably do eat Flamethrowers pretty well, but we'll see. Ice Punch does not get the freeze, and Flamethrower comes out, putting Gengar in range of Sand here, and he does go down. So this is so Lanier wins this game. So this is the first game of the second set they played, and what a game it was. There was so many people in this game. I think there was, just looking at the chat here, there was like probably well in excess of 20 or 30 people watching this game, but it's just such a fantastic showcase from the two players. Lanier just really played it so optimally, really got the most out of his mons. The turn that is so important really is just that turn where he sacked where he refused to sack the Blissey. I think it's really the kind of turn that that kind of allows you to win these tournaments with so much at stake. 70 turn game, so it did kind of draw out a little bit. 70 turns isn't much, but yeah, I guess that's TSS versus TSS. That's about what you'd expect. Yeah, I always come back to this game. I come back to this game every few months and just kind of just watch it back and just appreciate the quality of the play in this game. I think it's one that most people should be trying to learn from, especially if you use these archetypes often. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.